Good afternoon from Tyneside, the 9th Great North CityGames, a great curtain raiser before Britain's biggest mass running event, the Great North Run, and we're looking forward to some hot performances, Tim Hutchins. There is your field, the athletes are there on the straight, and Asher Phillip, is she the one who's going to be able to take this one? Desiree Henry as well, and an excellent young Irish athlete.
Really good start there for Karina Horn on the near side. Here comes Desiree Henry, though. Henry moving away, and she's having a real ding-dong here with Asher Phillip. Phillip leading at the moment. Is Henry going to get there? Yes, she does. On the dip. Desiree Henry just taking that one. The Enfield and Haringey athlete comes from North London. So that, after a win in the 150 last year, a very satisfying return to the banks of the Tyne for the 22-year-old. 11.06, her lifetime best from last year, 11.09 this season, and that, John, on the dip. A very important dip indeed, taking it by just a few inches from Asher Phillip.
Tim, result coming through with Desiree Henry, 11.61 into that 1.4 metre wind, and there it is coming through by 0.04 of a second ahead of Asher Phillip. Karina Horn, the South African winner last year, having to settle for 3rd place.
As crazy as it sounds, I was standing on the start line, I was like, Desiree, the moment you cross the line, you can go get yourself a sticky toffee pudding. So that's what I'm off to get after. But I'm so relieved, you know, to end the season on a win and to do it in front of a home crowd. It doesn't really get any better than that for the end of the season.
Butchardt's benefit there in the green shorts in front to keep pushing this pace along.
And right on his shoulder is Alexis Millet of France, and he's got a personal best of 3:39 at 1,500 metres, so he's no slouch. Right on the shoulder of Butchardt, and you can see behind them Elliot Giles, bigger figure in the blue vest, bowling along quite comfortably. Twice UK champion and European bronze medalist last year at 800 metres, and he's in about 4th place at the moment, but still it's Butchardt leading the way as they run right along the banks of the Tyne, and what a fabulous backdrop it is as they just turn inside a little bit of a chicane and moving around the first bend. Still though, Butchardt leading the way from Millet.
Well, I don't think they've pushed it particularly quickly. They should be at around halfway now, John, and Butchard hasn't really forced the pace much. It's a bunch, they're quite tightly bunched. I'll be interested to see how Charlie Grice goes here, Britain's European, World and Olympics finalist, who's had a very, very bad summer by his own standards. He hasn't raced for about 6 weeks. He's in 5th place at the moment, Charlie Grice, but has he been able to stay fit and get hungry for this one and maybe prove something right at the end of this season?
Adam Clark just moving up into 3rd place, right on the shoulder of the Australian Jordan Williams, who is a member of the Australian team, which placed 4th in the IAAF World Relays this year over in the Bahamas. What a lovely event that is. And the lead still is with Butchardt and Millet side by side, and now moving through on the outside. You see Jonathan Davis from Reading, who won a couple of medals at the World Student Games, just 22 years old, and he's moved up into 3rd place, now ranging up into 2nd place and looking as though he's full of running. But you can see that there is no more than about 4 metres between the whole field and less than a minute to go.
Lewandowski to the right of picture there, to the right of that group as you see them now in the white t-shirt, is the real danger man for me. Lewandowski, very consistent at the pole, former European champion at 800 metres, has enormous speed and strength and a great tactician, but they're still tightly bunched here, John. It's amazing how few people have dropped off the back of this as they begin to wind it up.
They're winding it up now with the finish just about in sight. Clark now hits the front. Adam Clark leading by just a metre or so, but Lewandowski moving up, ranging up onto his shoulder, and he, as Tim has suggested, looks like the danger man. But has he got the sprint now? Has he got the sprint as they go for the line? Lewandowski is challenging. Still it's Clark. And coming up on the outside, Williams. And is this going to be his victory? Giles coming on the near side, and it's going to be so close on the line. The 800-metre man, Giles, is putting Williams under pressure. But it is victory for the Aussie, Jordan Williams, who crosses the line in 4 minutes 6 seconds. A little bit of an upset there. He's got a lifetime best at the mile at 4 minutes 9. So that represents his best ever time in a road race mile, and I have to say he judged it pretty much to perfection. Lewandowski gave himself every opportunity, but the pole running in dark glasses, weakening on the sprint and having to settle ultimately for third place. There's confirmation of the result of the men's mile. Jordan Williams, the Australian, lifetime best for him, also a best time ever for Elliot Giles, British athlete, in second place, and Lewandowski taking third.
No, it was awesome crowd, awesome atmosphere. You guys very hospitable here, so it's great to be here, great to win.
And for you, of course, next year is going to be huge. Having a home Commonwealth Games is a very exciting prospect. That'll take you through your hard winter miles, won't it?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm sure you guys know more than anyone what it's like to have a home game, so really excited to come back to Australia and hopefully put on a good show.
There's the full lineup for the 110-metre hurdles. Jake Porter in 1 for Britain, Jake Charity of the USA in 2, then the Czechs, Svoboda in 3, and Smet Kuhn of Norway, 6 times the Dutch champion, goes in lane 4. First to rise, looks like Svoboda in the red. Svoboda at the moment beginning to dominate this one. Eaton challenging him though on the far side. Eaton going well, and is he getting ahead of Svoboda? It's very tight between these two. Svoboda there, quickest off the final barrier on the run-in. Really fast on that run-in, minus 0.1. So the wind has dropped significantly in 13.64. Well, it's solid enough. Again, Svoboda, who hasn't had his best of seasons outdoors after what looked like a great winter with that European indoor bronze, having to fight for every inch of this one, John, to just get there, 6 inches or so ahead of Charity.
Strong man, isn't he? Gets away well. Good start from Svoboda. Eaton coming back at him. Another very tall athlete, by the way. The American also standing something like 6'4", 6'5", but Svoboda, strong man, all-round athlete, good decathlete. He's got over 7,000 points as a decathlete, and he comes home by a narrow margin.
Well, Svoboda winning at 13.62 ahead of Eaton, then from Kuhn and Porter in that men's 110-metre hurdles. Still air in effect for the 4 high hurdles, but the Czech with a narrow victory.
1 year ago here, I was injured. I stopped in 7 hurdles. Now I am in finish. I am win. I'm so happy.
The men's pole vault competition started with 7 competitors, but was quickly down to 3. Thomas Vexton of Finland cleared 5 meters 30 at his second attempt and went on to finish third after failing 3 attempts at 5:45. Francis Stanley Joseph needed 1 attempt to clear 5 meters 30 and briefly held the lead, but the 25-year-old also failed 3 goes at 5:45 and went on to finish in second place. Urho Kajampar of Finland was the only man to clear 5 meters 45. It took the 20-year-old 3 attempts to clear what was a new personal best, but it was good enough to give him the victory over Joseph and Vexton. Here is the women's 500 metres. Great Scottish favourite, Lindsay Sharp there. Perry Shakes Drayton, good to see her back in action after all her injury problems. Anika Anora as well, the Liverpudlian. And it looks as though Lindsay Sharp has gone out hard. Alongside her, De Wit of the Netherlands, but Sharp leading the way. Baker, little figure, trying to stay in contact, and Shakes Drayton is back in 5th place at this stage, and it's going along in front very comfortably, very comfortably, very confidently. Lindsay Sharp. She did win this race in 2016 in a time of 66.62 and was second back in 2014 to Christine Ahorogu, now 27 years old. And the Scottish athlete Lindsay Sharp has a sizable advantage as they come into the last 20 seconds or so of the race. But coming under a bit of pressure now. And on the near side, Anura is coming as Sharp's weakening. And Anura hits the front and he's coming away. And Ika Anura is going to win this one. And she's going to win this one by a margin up towards the line. And she's winning time as she's just coming under pressure on the far side from Perry Shakes Drayton. Oh, but on the line, did Shakes Drayton just get there? It looked as though Anura had it won with 20 metres to go, but Perry Shakes Drayton, as Anura tied up dramatically in the closing stages. The smiling figure of Perry Shakes Drayton looks to me as though she has just crossed the line in first place. Let's watch again. This is the photo finish which the judges will be looking at. Anura almost stumbling as she goes into the final 10 metres. Shakes Drayton keeps her form together, and I think she might have just got in there by a whisker. My goodness, that is close. And as you see, by just 1/100th of a second, the popular smiling figure of Perry Shakes Drayton takes it ahead of her British compatriot Anika Anura, both of them in personal best times.
When they went off, I was like, oh God. Lindsay went off like a rocket, but I thought to myself, you know what? Keep calm. You know the Empire is your strongest bit. But I was thinking, what, wait, more people going past me. I said, get back in it. And obviously my strength showed at the end of it. And it was good fun.
This is a strong field. Nigel Amos will be a very, very tough man to beat. He won the Diamond League 800 metres. He loves to front run. Dwayne Cowan too in very good form. Semi-finalist at the World Championships over 400 metres. And he won the Birmingham Diamond League meeting, actually, did Dwayne Cowan. So who's going to take this one out? Will they judge it right? We saw how spectacularly it can fall apart if you go out too hard. Lindsay Sharp in that women's race went out very, very hard in the 500 metres, but got swallowed up by the pack. And here, Jacob Paul wasn't at the World Championships. He's only a 47.8 400 metre man. He, the 22-year-old, has gone out incredibly aggressively for the first couple hundred metres. Nigel Amos slipping into his slipstream there. In fact, pulls up alongside him now, Amos, who seems determined himself to use every inch of this 500 metres because he must feel he's racing under distance here as an 800 metres specialist. And Learmonth coming into the scene now, looking very strong in the green. Learmonth has Amos in his sights, but the Botswanan is away. And that's about a 4-metre lead, and it's stretching now onto the track. He's got a lovely raking stride, and nobody's getting close to him now. The rest of the pack battling for the minor places. Watch the clock for Amos here. That is quick, 59.3. It's just outside the British Games city record of Martin Rooney from last year. But he has demolished that field from the front, Nigel Amos. Took on the aggressive front running, the early start of Jacob Paul. Eased past the Windsor Slough Eaton man into the lead.
Winning time for Nigel Amos, there we are, 59.26 seconds. Guy Learmonth taking second, and Dwayne Cowan, who's having a good year, he comes up and takes third place, just ahead of Andrew Assaji.
All the way through, I felt good, I felt strong. So it's a very exciting moment here, and the atmosphere is really different from track. You're like, it's easy, it's funny to run.
Well, I hope they've done their homework, because Courtney is no mean competitor. That 20 seconds she locked off her 3,000 personal best at Watford just a few days ago is quite spectacular. I mean, that is a dramatic improvement. So she has the strength, and I think she's doing this exactly the right way. She knows she's got pretty good 1,500 metre speed, but she's got great strength, and frankly, probably better 3,000 speed than most of those ladies behind her. So she's turning it into a test of strength by making it very honest, having gone out hard from the gun. Tracy to the left of the chasing pack there, just trying to keep up within her sights. And Winnie Jabet now trying to close that gap as they enter the second half of the race. Courtney needs to judge this nicely. You have to save something for that last couple of 100 metres. It's no good thrashing it hard from halfway and making them work really hard and looking impressive for that third quarter. You've got to save something for the finishing straight. Has she done that?
Well, Courtney's really strung that field out, as you can see from the overhead shot, but now it just looks as though Winnie Jabet with Katie Mackey of the United States is starting to ease back, and they're narrowing the gap. It's now no longer just a procession led by Melissa Courtney. Suddenly the others are now right back in touch, and the race, Tim, is on.
It is indeed, and Mackie looks impressive in the yellow, doesn't she? Although Chebet now just gets her nose in front. Mackie goes past Courtney as well. 1 and 2 then, the Kenyan Chebet. Mackie there, who has real 5,000 metre strength. She's an international class 5,000 metre runner, Katie Mackie, and indeed, from 5,000 down to 800, she has really good ability. Rosie Clark looking strong there too. She's joined Winnie Chebet to the right of that group as we look down upon them. And Adele Tracy is hanging in there, grimacing in 5th place. If she can stay there and use that 800 metre speed in the closing stages, she might yet spring a surprise. Bell having a good run in the black there in 6th place, as Clark hits the front now and really tests this field. And Chebet at the moment, either keeping her powder dry or running on tired legs, because they step up onto the track here now. Rosie Clark, the steeplechaser, kicks for home. Chebet on the far side, moving well. And it looks too like Mackie in yellow might be a spent force here, as Chebet hits the front perfectly at the right time. Courtney now is coming back. That 3,000 metre strength does tell, and she eases ahead of Chebet here. This could be a really fabulous win for the career of Melissa Courtney, the 24-year-old. It is indeed. It's the tape, 2 metres to the good there from Winnie Chebet. That is one big scalp and plenty of others behind her that she will be delighted to have taken at this tail end of the season. Fabulous stuff from Courtney. That win from Melissa Courtney is very special indeed. A personal best, 4:33.83 from Winnie Chebet and Rosie Clark. Great running from the Briton Clark in 3rd place there. And indeed a really competitive race with just 3 or 4 seconds covering the first 5 home.
Obviously I was disappointed not to make Worlds, but to run the Standard and to run in London Diamond League, they were like my high points. And then yeah, I just felt really good these last couple of weeks, so I'm glad I kept racing.
In the women's long jump, the story was about 3 competitors and 3 jumps. Estonia's Sania Balta took an early lead in round 1 with a jump of 6 metres 46. 23-year-old Jasmine Sawyer from Great Britain had fouled in round 1, but she matched Balta's distance of 6:46 with her next jump. Another Briton, Lorraine Ugan, became the 3rd competitor to jump 6:46 with her 3rd round effort. The 26-year-old took the victory on countback, however, thanks to her 2nd round jump of 6:43.
There's the 4 athletes who are going to be competing for the men's 100 metres T44. Olivia Hendricks, just 14 years old. Ronald Hertog, Johnny Peacock, drawn lane 3, and Levi Vlut of Netherlands completing the lineup. Good start from Peacock, gets out of the blocks really well. Accelerating away from Vlut, and now it is just him against the clock. How fast can he go? It's looking pretty good to me, and the time 11.28. Well, he's gone substantially quicker than that in the past, but he wasn't under pressure here, and he wins it very, very comfortably to round off his summer's endeavours. And what another great season Johnny Peacock has had, and a winner here once more, showing that he remains very much ahead of the pack. There's confirmation of the result. 11.28. Ronald Hertog takes 2nd, Vlut takes 3rd, and the 14-year-old Olivier Hendricks coming in 4th place.
I'm just so happy to come here to finish the race healthy. That's my main concern. And you know, obviously it was a shame to race Richard wasn't here, but we've got some great guys here, and obviously that young guy, 14 years old, he's going to be a big up-and-comer in the future.
There's the lineup for the women's 150 metres. Dina Asher-Smith, the favourite, drawn in lane 2, Blackheath and Bromley Harrier, and an outstanding form this season. Away first time, good start from Asher-Smith, also Bianca Williams, not a lot between them at this stage, but now Asher-Smith is looking strong, beautiful sprinting style, and she's starting to come away. How quick is it going to be? Keep an eye on that clock, it might be very fast indeed. 16.71 seconds, that's her fastest ever. It's outside the quickest all time on the UK list, but she has finished the season really well and won that one confidently.
And you're right, John, the third quickest time ever by a British athlete, 16.71, does make it special. And when she really started working it around halfway, my word, did she open up a gap on some good athletes. And Bianca Williams is no slouch, she's a world-class athlete there. But Dina Asher-Smith coming back into full fitness after breaking her foot earlier in the year.
There's the confirmation of the results. A big winning margin for Dina Asher-Smith. Personal best time, third fastest on the all-time list, and personal bests all the way down the list. Bianca Williams taking second, Naomi Sedney third for the Netherlands.
Obviously there were points earlier in the year when I was wondering whether or not I would run this year, so to have come fourth from the World Champs and get a silver medal and been able to be healthy and continue my season through to these events in September is just honestly more than I could have asked for this year.
There is the lineup for the men's 150 metres, the final event of these 9th Great North CityGames. Harry Akins-Ariti, Nathaniel Mitchell-Blake, Amir Webb and Kim Collins. A really, really competitive field. The blues quickest away. Looks to me like Mitchell-Blake's moving very well in the blues. Second to right, Harry Akins-Ariti has also built up a bit of a lead over the first 100. Akins-Ariti being chased down now. The strength of Amir Webb coming through now. The 200-metre man for the USA is going to take this one, and he does marginally from Mitchell-Blake. Very tight at the line. 15.25 there for Amir Webb. Well, he's run 16 seconds exactly indoors 3 years ago, but that from Amir Webb is a very, very quick clocking indeed. It's the fourth fastest time in the world this year over 150 for the American. And indeed, John, as we expected, he came through at the end with that 200-metre strength, showing really good form, holding his form.
Nathaniel Mitchell-Blake might be a bit disappointed by that. I think at one stage he thought this one might be in the bag, but on the line it was Webb who came home to get victory in the final event.
Confirmation of the win for Amir Webb in that 150, 15.24, a personal best ahead of Mitchell-Blake, also recording a personal best, just 2/100ths of a second behind the American.
That's it for another year of street athletics in the Northeast. Next up for us will be the Great Scottish Run from Glasgow in a few weeks' time. Don't forget to keep up to date on our website, greatrun.org. But for now, from Tyneside, it's goodbye.